Hi everyone, Catherine here, and I made a really fun project out of my Echo Park box that I got. I did that opening and showed you everything in that, and I've started making projects with it. So this concept I saw on Michelle's channel from Pink Strawberries, and anyway, she used 8.5 by 11 cardstock, but I had these 12 by 12 papers from Echo Park, so I thought, what if I did 12 by 9.5? And so that's what I did. This is 12 by 9.5, so a little bit larger. And I'll show you this one. I'll just do a quick walkthrough of this one, and then we're going to make another one. This was my practice one because I want to do one for my granddaughter with the bathing suit ones and real summery. Well, this is very summery too. But anyway, she loves her, I remember being that age, and she loves the new bathing suits that she gets every year. And because she's constantly growing, so she needs new ones each year. And that's always a highlight for her. So she's a mini me. She likes her fashion and all like I do. So anyway, I was going to make her a different one. And I did this as a practice, but I ended up liking this so much I might give this to her. So let's go ahead. I just did a little. And let me tell you another thing. I got some of these extra pieces from my Heidi Swapp haul. And I wasn't going to re-film that video. And I really can't now because I started using this stuff. But I was a little disappointed in the Heidi Swapp mystery box. But now that I'm using them, I'm not disappointed anymore. I'm kind of really digging it. Okay, so you open this, and I left this blank. And then over here, when Michelle did it, she had this pocket here with the slant. And so my little pockets, I incorporated that slant into those as well to just kind of keep them all consistent. And so I just have a little tag in this one. I'll put this is all from Echo Park other than a few things from the Heidi Swapp. Which was just the ribbon and the strings and a little notepad. I'll show you in a minute. So anyway, I've got that. And then you open it here and you have this pocket, which I love the slant in that. And my goal is I want to give my granddaughter some stickers that she can then put in here as well, and some of her pictures, of her new bathing suits. And the strings are from the Heidi Swapp, but all this is from the Echo Park. And I made this I glued just the side down so that you can slide something in and out like there. And then I used a lot of raised dots for these. So this is why I'm happy with the Heidi Swapp again. This little notepad came from that, but when I put it down the pocket, it kind of gets lost in there and can tilt. So I put this tag from the Echo Park in, and then some of the string. This is from the Heidi Swapp, but this little notepad is, and then these, OMG, these little stencils, and this pencil there's other stencils that came with it, but I thought this one was perfect, and I made that little sun. Isn't that cute? So now I'm very happy with this Heidi Swapp one after all. I got the mystery box. It was $100. And then we've got little sun, surf, sea salt, sand. And now we open it this way. Now, I added this flap and I'll tell you why in a minute, but it just keeps on opening up, and I love that. So you have all this real estate to put photos, or if you're my granddaughter, put stickers, even though it's pretty busy as it is, but lots of blank space there. And then we already saw that. And then the back. So the back, I wanted to be able to tie that string down some, so I just put some little things to cover up where I had glued the string down. Okay, the other piece that I was going to show you. We go back in here. There's so many moving parts here. But anyway, Michelle didn't have this flap in there. I did that because when I glued this one down to here, I kind of gooped, and when I moved it over, it tore the paper a little bit. So that's just to hide that little tear. And I think, it's fine. You can have it there. You don't have to. And then this is just one of the front little frames, and I only glued the bottom down so you could stick little things in. So I thought now I really like this one, and I think my granddaughter would really like this one too. So I might give this to her, but we're still going to make another one. You can never have too many booklets, right? And then I did this with the pop dots, and then just wrap the little string around. So isn't that cute? So cute. So let me show you how I did that. And I'll try to link the Pink Strawberry one that I kind of got this concept from, and then changed it a little bit, as we do. Now, I thought I would use these. Aren't these papers adorable? And I thought I would use these for my granddaughter's book, or could end up, this will go to her, and this will be an extra. So we'll see. But to start, we're going to need 3, since Michelle did 8.5 by 11, but I'm going to do 12 by 9.5. So we're going to keep our 12. Let's see, we want, yeah, this is our 9.5. So we're going to cut it this way so that we get this 9.5 and keep the wide part as well. I'm here to tell you, I am definitely a right brainer, and any left brain stuff like measurements and math hurts my brain. So we will just have to think and double think stuff like that. But we're going to cut the little tab. You know how most papers, the 12 by 12s, will have the little strip on the bottom, and sometimes you can reuse those. They have cute little things on them that you can use in your projects. So this is easy. We just line this up at the 12 to cut this little tab off here. Or strip. I don't know what I'm saying tab. It's a strip. There we go. And then we want our 9.5 cut this way. So, 9.5. It always scares me when I'm cutting beautiful paper like this. I don't know about you, but... And I may actually want to order some separate pieces from this kit, because I have really enjoyed it. So here's our first 12 by 9.5. And we'll take this one. Again, we can just line it up at the 12 there. Cut our strip off. Okay, and then we want this 9.5. All three are going to be 9.5. Okay, and then this one, cut the strip off. Why does I feel like that's not all the way over? I don't know why. Okay, and then 9.5 there. All right, I'm going to keep this out because we're going to need to score next. So our first one, which I got to decide which that's going to be. So this is the cover, and this cover we just fold in half, exactly in half. So, isn't that gorgeous? That wouldn't be the cover. This could potentially be a pretty cover, but I'm thinking the bathing suits. Yeah, I'm thinking the bathing suits are going to be the cover. So this one then we want to cut in half. Score in half. We want to cut it. Where's my bone folder? Okay, so I've been crafting all day and I have everything out everywhere. And I said to myself I should clean it up before I start videotaping. And then I thought, no, I'll need it all. So here we go. I just probably won't be able to find anything. I don't know if anybody else is like that. All right, so we want to cut this, or cut, I keep saying cut. We want to score this at 6 because we want to fold it exactly in half. And then we'll just get a nice crisp edge there. So we got that one in half, and then we are going to score this one, and you kind of have to know which way you want it to go. So the next ones, here's what we've got. So one is going to have a 1/2 inch that's going to go down on here in the middle of our, so it's going to go on here, that 1/2 inch. And then the next one is going to get butted up against this one. Hope I'm not confusing you to no ends. I probably am, but you'll see as we get going. That's where I made my mistake, like putting this one on. So here we go. What we're going to do, I have to figure out if I want this face in here and fold it in like that, or like this and fold it in here. I think this way, right? Yeah, so I want my fold. Let me double check myself. I want my fold. Yes. Yeah. I actually want it. I don't want it like that. I probably want it like this. Okay. Here we go. So we want this to be on the inside. So my 1/2 inch is going to be here. And then my 5 3/4, because that's the next measurement, 5 3/4 is going to be here. So, and here's another thing that hurt my brain. I thought since this one's larger than the one she made, that I would need to adjust these measurements, but I didn't. It worked out perfectly this way. So we're doing a 1/2 inch score here, and then 5 3/4 here. And so then this one's going to get folded in this way. And then this one's going to get folded in this way. Although, now why isn't it? Let's see. All right. This is going to get glued down to here. And then it's going to, yep, that's right. That's right. Because it ends up a little bit shorter, but that's good. Okay. And it gets glued to this one. All right. It's kind of a simple album, but it can get tricky, I will admit. I hope my glue is working here. There we go. I was going to say I was just using it because this has been a fun crafting day. I love crafting days. Don't y'all? I just love it when I'm free to craft all day long. All right, so this goes. Let's fold this up so we're sure we get it all even there. There we go. And then I like to go like that. Just make sure it still closes for us. It does. And you take your bone folder. So our first one went down onto this one. Okay. And then, yes, it ends up a little bit shorter. And that's how she designed it. So there we go. So we've got our first little part. And now next, we need to score our third one the same way we scored this one. And it's going to go, we're going to take the folded part and we're going to butt it up against here. And that's where I kind of had to move it and I tore my paper a little bit. So I'm going to be very cognizant of that. So here's our other piece. So we have to decide, do I want it like that where it folds? Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. I want it like that and it folds in. I think we had it right here. So that means I want my 1/2 inch here. So let's score this at 1/2 inch. And then at the 5 3/4. Okay, so I'll fold this way. And then, and yes, I did that practice one, but that was yesterday, so I should have probably gone ahead and did the practice one today. So it was fresh in my mind. I'm getting into those senior years. All right, so then what we're going to do is go ahead and this is going to get glued down like this. And our most important piece is to go ahead, once I put the glue on, to get those even like that. And that's when I ended up having to move it and it tore a little bit. So we're going to try to avoid that this time. I am done with this for the moment. We do have to cut our pocket pieces, but for now, I'll go ahead and move that aside. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love these papers. All right. So we're going to put our glue on here. Oh, it does want to act up, doesn't it? Let's take my little, I think y'all know how to take care of that when it's clogging. Just stick one of these pins, like a little push pin. Might be another name for these pins, I don't know. But I just stick that pin down in there. I guess any kind of pin would work, but that's nice because it has the top that you can go ahead and retrieve it. So I try to always remember to put my lid back on that. It's glossy accents. All right, so yes, it goes like this. And I'm wondering, would it be better to bring this up here to meet it? Okay, I think that did work out better that way. Let's see how we're doing with evenness there. Okay, it looks pretty good. Yep, looks pretty even. Okay, let's take our bone folder. Okay, so now let's see what we have. So this comes like this, and then like this. Make sure everything's folding nicely, and it seems to be. All right. Pretty papers. Now, what she did with this section, which I really like, and I'm going to keep it that way, she made a slanted pocket out of this piece. And so I'm going to do that as well. And what we're going to do is just take our scissors and pray. So we have to go at a slant. We want to start at the top with just this one sheet. And you know what I could do if I still had my, I don't even think I have it anymore. If I had the slanted piece that I cut out of my other one, I could have saved that as a template, but no such luck. That's all right. I went pretty sharp to get a good slant. You know, and you can always cut more out if you don't feel like it's slanted enough. I kind of feel like that might happen. Oh no, that's pretty good. Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so then we're just going to obviously glue here and here and make that gorgeous pocket. Fun, fun. Okay, so I'm going to glue here. I hope I'm staying in camera. That's one thing when especially when I've been like just on my own little crafting all day and then make a video, because I've been all over the place today. There we go. So we got our nice pocket there. You can tuck things in like I tucked in those stickers for her. Okay, and then we're just going to make 2 more pockets and then we can decorate. Now, if this bothers you, you could put, let me tell you that the other thing way I'm varying from the one she did at Pink Strawberries. She actually did hers on plain cardstock and then added papers to cover. So that would cover this up. But, I mean, this really doesn't bother me, but if it does, you know, you could get just a sheet of paper and put in here. And cover that up, because the rest then you're not really bothered by any seams or anything. And then it just all gets closed up like this. It's bowing a little bit, and I'm not sure where that's coming from, but okay. The other one was just like perfect. Now we're going to do our pockets, and so for that, I did mine a little bit larger, and that did work out. So I did mine, she did hers 5 1/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch. So I did mine 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, just an inch bigger. So I don't know if you can read my handwriting. I hate to do that to you, but see, hers were, I'm a nurse, well, retired nurse, but still 5 1/4 and 3 3/4. So I did 6 1/4. Oh yeah, you can really tell that's a quarter, can't you? And then 4 3/4. Okay. So, I mean, that I did the larger ones for me. So now we just have to figure out what papers, and I actually have some left over. These obviously won't work, but I did have some left over from the practice one. Might end up turning out to be my good one. I just got to find that, because I hate cutting into, I don't know about you, but I hate cutting into 12 by 12s to get little pieces. It just kills me. Okay. And this isn't big enough, but I'm just wondering, save on paper. It's not as big as her pockets, but it wouldn't have to be, I guess. Here it is. So here is the piece that I used for those pockets. The pockets are going to go, so let's go back here. The pockets are going to go, the first one's going to go on this one. So the first one will go here, and that would work nicely there. Oh, and they're pretty. And then the next one is going to go, when you open this up, next one is going to go on here. Ugh, no, that definitely doesn't work. So I'll use this one for the front one, and then we'll find another one for the striped one. Hopefully I won't have to cut into, here's a thought. I'm going to have to cut this down, but here's the corner piece from here. They're in the wrong direction though. Yeah, sideways flamingos. That's not too cool. All right, we'll figure out a piece when we get there. But this one I'm going to go ahead and cut at 6 1/4 and 4 3/4. Why I folded this up and didn't just set it aside, but that's how I did it. Okay, so let's see what this actually measures. So that's the 6, so that can't be 6 3/4. So we've got to do our 6 3/4 on this one. 6 3/4. All right, and then, no, it was 6 1/4, duh. It was 6 1/4. You all were probably saying, no, no. Well, we can always get some more off. 6 1/4, and that was 4 3/4. That was 4 3/4. Get it. And then she scored hers at 1/4 inch all the way around. But I thought with this being a little bit larger, I didn't want to go quite as far as 1/2 inch. So I went in between 3/8 inch. So 3/8 inch there. And 3/8 inch there. And 3/8 inch there. So here's pocket number 1. And then I will, because that goes on here on our first one. So I will cut these little corners out so that it folds better. And I did not feel like this project needed any inking up because these papers are just so gorgeous. You don't really need to use any ink on the edges, I don't think. Anyway, I'm folding that the wrong way. Okay, I want it to go this way. Fold our little tabs in. Fold our little tabs in. So there we have that. And I made it a slant, remember, to go along with the slant on the other ones. We're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, where we're going to cut to make sure we have enough at the bottom to glue it down. All right, I probably went a little deeper than I did on the other one. That happens sometimes. It'll be enough to still hold it down. Alrighty. And this just goes on there. Okay. A little bit extra glue. And then when that dries, I take my little, I call it a glue eraser. It's like a pickup. I think they call it pickup, but this takes the dry glue off. So you don't have that shine left there. All right, then we want to put our other pocket on here. And we were going to have to get more paper, weren't we? Because, yeah, there's no way to make that work. I'm wondering, is that too out there? That's kind of pretty, isn't it? Although we won't have any tabs, we'd have to just glue it down straight. I think that would be all right. Let's see. I think that's pretty right there. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to waste any more paper. I try to conserve paper. Now, I could fold these in, but then that's going to get too small. Right? Well, maybe not. Maybe we just do 1/4 inch. This is this is how my paper crafting goes. I wing it so much. Like I get an idea, and then I followed hers as much as possible, but then I just kind of veer off on my own little thing as I go. All right, this then we want to do. Let's just do a little 1/4 inch, and then 1/4 inch here. Okay, see if that helps us any. I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold that down, but it might be. Yeah, probably not. We're going to try her. I didn't miter the corner, but I don't know that we need to. Yeah, that's not too small. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to hold it down. All this because I don't want to waste another. I don't want to cut into another 12 by 12. Because I never know what project I might want to make with it. Oh, I love that. I'm kind of glad it worked out that way because I love that floral pattern on there. Pretty. You would think it would be, this all would be too busy, but I think since it's all the same tones and size of prints, I know I'm going to get a little bit of glue on the side because we're almost going to have to because I don't know if this is enough to hold that down. Oopsie, I'm going to get glue. But that's okay. That'll help hold it down a little bit better. Pretty, pretty. But what I was saying is I think the patterns all work together because of the size and the tones of the colors. Because when you use a paper pack that was designed to go together, I find that you can use the busier ones together and it works. And I take off as much glue as I can, then go back later when it's dry and get the rest off. Okay. All right, so that's our pocket. So now we just need to decorate. And that was so much fun with these little pieces and parts from this project. And again, adding a couple of the Heidi Swapp stuff in there too. You know, I used to use Heidi Swapp a good bit, and then it tended to go like into big time, go into planners and more, things like that, like daily planners and all. And I kind of got away from it. And then I saw that mystery box, and I thought, well, let me give it a whirl. And now I'm glad I did. I wasn't so much at first. I was like, what a waste of money. That's why I never redid the video of opening everything. All right. So now we can decorate. And let me see if we have something to do the same little idea with putting something up on pop dots and then wrapping the string around it. Let's see what we have. I think these colors probably going to match better this set of things. So make a splash. Summer. I don't want to use a tag. I love you to the beach and back. That's cute. So something that shape might work. Summer is here. We're going to put that on the maybe list. These are no. It's probably too little. Life is sweet. Oh, that's cute though, isn't it? That's cute. We'll put that on the maybe list. No tags. No. Too long. Yeah, too long. Hello, Summer. Oh, cute. These frames are really cool, but I'm going to use those inside the project somewhere. And these you can pop out. You got like a little frame. That's pretty though. But I'd be afraid this will come out because it's intended to come out. All right. Summer Adventures. That's pretty. Maybe. Sunshine and Hello Summer. Nope, too little. So what have we? Oh, look at that little beach ball that just fell out. Here's our maybes again. Well, we got 4 maybes. Let's see. Summer Adventures. Hello Summer. Yep, I'm taking Summer Adventures out. That was too big. Hello Summer, yes. I think that's too small. So we're down to this one. Or this one. You know what we could do? Around those corners. Maybe. I'm going to see. It might cut too much off. So. No, I don't think it will. No, it's not going to cut too much off. Because I like the size of this one, but I liked that this had rounded corners. So we'll just make this rounded corners. Hello, Summer. Now, you know what? I think with this one, I would like to ink that. I have some pink ink somewhere. Yep. I've got some pink. This isn't like any, was this brand? I think I just got it. Oh, Stampability. So it was a pretty decent brand. Well, I've had this forever. Now if I have a dauber. I do. My cat loves to play with these. She chases them all around. If I drop one, she chases it all over the house. But I just think this will look better on here, don't you? Because we've got all that white going on. I want to go in a little bit, but not overly. Speaking of cats, she also likes to chew on my papers. Drives me crazy. She gets up on the pool table, because that's where I keep them all. The pool table is for gift wrapping and sorting out your scrapbook stuff. And she gets up on there and starts chewing on my papers. Okay. Cute. Cute. Now, we're going to pop dot this. And we can just pop dot that. We don't have to worry about what we're doing with the string yet. We can just pop dot this because that's going to be our anchor. And I'll have to find my, there they are. I'm kind of running low on these. I know I've got a bunch somewhere and I cannot find them. Okay. I think that will just make them even. I think that'll just need 2. I don't think that needs 3. These hold pretty well. All right, so we're just going to put this in the center. And then I'll get these were the things, some of the things I got in Heidi Swapp. So I think we'll probably want pink. There's a green. Oh, it's kind of pretty. That's what I used on the other one, though. I'm going to blue. I got a yellow, but I don't know. Geesh. Okay. Green, yellow, oh, yellow, yellow, sunny yellow, pink. We're probably going to have too much pink going on. Blue. Is that the exact? No. See, it's kind of a bluish green on there. All right. I think this yellow is going to be pretty. So I just kind of had to wing it. What I did is, of course, you're going to want it to go around the back, and we're going to anchor it in the back. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Same thing I did the last time. I told you I can just put this down and don't need anything, but no, I needed to put this down first. And I made that same mistake yesterday. So I'm just going to lift my pop dot, and I'm going to put some glue too, and then put the pop dot over top of it. All right. There's probably better ways to construct this. So you all are probably like laughing at me. I don't know. But it worked on the other one, so let's see if my fabric glue is working. Yeah, I think this one will work. All right. And so I'm just going to put this in the center so I can put my string down. All right. Let's put our string pretty far in because we want it to be secure. There we go. All right. So we got that. And then we're going to, let's see how much we want to wrap. Very good bit. 1, 2, 3, and then it can just hang. All right. Okay. So unwrap it there. And we got to figure out what we want in the back to hold it down. So what I did with the other ones is I glued a piece. I'll show you here. So I glued a piece down, and then a piece of paper to cover it up that wasn't going to show, and then I covered the paper up with this. So there's a piece of paper actually gluing this down, and then I've used pop dots to put these up, and that worked out pretty well. So all we need is just like a sliver. We could even use, I told you, you can use these. So that's about right. We'll just take a piece of this, and then we'll glue it down and then glue the string to it, and then we just have to take stuff to cover it up. So I guess we should make sure we've got what we want to cover it up. That's why I had that other piece extended out further. Summer Adventures could go there. That just about covers that up right now. Let's see. So I wasn't going to center that because I thought I'd put something else, but might not have to with this one. Yeah, that'll cover that up. So let's put the Echo Park piece down. I know, probably doesn't make much sense, but it worked. Our glue down. Put that down. It wants to move on me. It's just kind of like our little, because I didn't want to glue directly down onto here. I wanted it to have a little bit of a cushion. And you could even, I didn't do this on the last one, but you could even then go ahead and put another piece down to make sure the string is really held down well, because you don't want your string coming off. That's why I did the pop dots then. just wanted it secure. And then we're going to need an extra piece. So I'll just move this over a little, and then we'll have a little piece extending, which would look better anyway. So I saw this sunshine. I was wondering if that sunshine would work. Oh, yeah. Sunshine, summer adventure. Now, I just need to get my pop dots and finish that. So you see how that's going to go. Sorry about that. And then this to just wrap around those little pop dots. See? So cute. All right. Moving on. We've got this little pocket. We could decorate here. We can put things in this pocket, decorate this pocket. This is really cute. So it goes well. So what if we kept that there and then put this little frame up in here and make that, again, a place where we could stick tags and so forth? Because sometimes I like them to stick above because it looks kind of cute even when you have it closed and there's like ribbon and pieces sticking above. And then I've got these we can also play with. I have an open jet, and these, stand up, and then these are chipboard pieces. And then these are like stickers, but they're 3D stickers. So let's see what we can do with these. I had an idea for one here. I was thinking about this flower. That's kind of cute. And if we did it, of course, that's so little, you're not going to be able to like stick anything under here, but you might be able to. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that one doesn't really show up because it's the same color, but so we have summer fun and summer is here. Cute little things. I have some of that, more of the Heidi Swapp things here. Like, I was curious as to whether, so I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to have some washi tape to match that would run down the slant there of our pocket? And I thought about this. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's amazing how this Heidi Swapp thing really is matching the colors and everything. Pretty serendipitous. All right. Okay. So that ends up being, no, there we go. I was going to say that's awfully light compared to what it was on the, cute. Let's see if this is going to work. We're just playing. If it doesn't work, we can take it off. Okay. And that's the thing about crafting. It is playing. It's just so much fun. Now I wish I hadn't put that flower down, but this is how things go. We'll have to snip the little end off. I don't want to, block my pocket from working. So we might have to, I'm going to have to move this flower, darn, because we don't want this all the way to the edge. And see how easily this moves. Not very easily. Okay, we're not going to be able to put that tape on there. Maybe we can put it on the next one. All right. I also found, so let's do this with the Heidi Swapp. It'll probably go in, maybe in this. That's the one we don't have very thick. Go down there. Yep, it sure can. All right, so I wanted to do the stencil on here, but I do have another smaller one. So if this one doesn't work out, I have a little small green one. And that'll work because I got green over here, so that might work better than that large one. See how these came? Aren't they cute? Like little file cards. And you got your little labels there. But I just like the notepad. That kind of glue on it. All right, so these stencils, and I probably should go get this. It came with this pencil, and of course I've got tons of colored pencils, but I like the sunshine part. But that's not really going to go with all of our... Well, there's some yellow there. We're going to go ahead and put this on because that was just adorable, and then I'll have to figure out later where it's going to actually live. Okay, so these stencils are amazing. Just go ahead and color them in. Real cute. It's just perfect for this little sunshine stuff here. Oh, that goes. That's cute. Okay, so we'll probably have enough here, especially if we put this and we'll put a couple little tags. Might move it down some. And maybe what we'll do is we'll just glue this end and this end. I'm not sure I like this. I didn't know it was going to change color on me. So I might cover that up or pull it back off. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I think I want like a little ribbon for here. Maybe that's not long enough. But I want like a ribbon going down here. It might be long enough. We'll try it. But I don't have any, so you can always make your own. So to make one of those ribbons, you just cut it to about the width you think you want it. And I don't want it too wide on here. We're going to try to make like a little cluster. So maybe about this wide. Okay. And then you're going to want to fold this in half. So just fold this. Fold that in half, and then you're going to cut it. So you want your ribbon, your points going that way. So it depends on how sharp of a edge you want there, but then you can just make your own little ribbons. And they'll be even since well, fairly even, since you cut it in half. Okay, so we would just put this here, and then we can decorate around it. Make us like a little cluster, because I think that will look good. I can incorporate my Life is So Sweet into here. Okay, maybe offset about like that. And you can always use, sometimes I like to use tags within my clusters, and you can even just put like a little ribbon. So something like that maybe. If we had a little ribbon, that would accent that there. Let's see how that is. And then maybe if we had, remember I saw that little beach ball rolling out, that might be just what is needed right there. So something like that. I may want to come down lower. There we go. But you can just play around with what looks good. And I love summer. We don't want to cover that up completely, but you can tell what it says. All right, so we're just going to get us some little ribbon here. And most of the ribbon came from the Heidi Swapp that I've been using today. It's not real silky. It's kind of a nice for this project. I think it works pretty well. So, and I never worry about if my clusters get messed up, I just put it back together because, you just want the general concept. It doesn't have to be exact. Just what looks good to you and balanced. Okay. And balance isn't always about symmetry. You know that. So, all right. Cut us a little tab here. Okay. So I think I'm going to put my tag down first. And again, sometimes I like them to stick out, the edge. Thinking about right there. I like how these colors all go together so well. Let me see if my glue is behaving now. So I have this idea. I have this little booklet, and I had made a mistake with it, so I didn't finish through with completing it. But I was thinking, what if I did one of these numbers, turn it inside out, and then that kind of looks nice in there. And maybe to coordinate and bring some of this in, I could, because I had some extra, one strip of that. I love this pattern. And I could take my circle punch and maybe around here, I want some of that pink. I want some of the blue too. All right, let's see here. And then maybe, it came out all pink, didn't it? Huh. Probably need a bigger circle, but right now my larger circle punch is not working. So, I don't know. Let's see if we get a better part of the pattern. Maybe this. All right, we can look at it this way. Gives a little bit more interest. There we go. So we got a cute little tab there. So now my only task is to figure out which one of these I want to give to my granddaughter. Aren't they cute? I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.